If it was any other party leader, he'd be all over it. And if it was one of his members of parliament, he'd have them out of the caucus pretty quick. So what makes him so special? Is it just the name?
David Menzies for Rebel News here in Brampton, Ontario. Well, you know, when it comes to the Justin Trudeau brownface, blackface fiasco, in fact, we have gone out and we've consigned our beautiful Jumbotron-equipped truck with the images of Justin's racist past, and we're going to drive it around Brampton and find out what people have to say about the Prime Minister's behavior, and also urge them, if they are indeed offended by this, to sign our petition, which is TrudeauMustResign.com. If you can, please chip in to help us cover the costs of the truck, to rent this truck for a day with gas and expenses in. It's a couple of $1,000s, so any donation is greatly appreciated. What was your reaction when you saw these images last week emerging?
Disgusting. Completely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I mean, I voted for him, and now I'm sincerely regretting it.
Yeah, I don't think personally that it's racist, but I do think that for the amount of virtue signaling that he does and going overboard, correcting everybody else's mistakes, that he should live by his own word, you know?
To me, I don't see anything wrong with that.
Obviously, my concern really is more the hypocrisy of it, is that, you know, everyone else obviously can't live up to his standards, but then when you peel back the layers, you notice that he doesn't live up to the standards that he espouses himself.
He said he did blackface, he apologized for it, and I think people should leave him alone, and I'm sure he's very sorry for it. He made a mistake and he fessed up, and we should move on.
Do you know the best way to deal with the racism? Stop talking about it.
I still admire Justin Trudeau. I like Justin Trudeau. He's still a good prime minister.
What's been his best accomplishment to date, sir?
Well, I think he's just been good. He's been a good prime minister. He's been a good prime minister, and yeah.
Do you realize just how f***ing ironic this is?
In what way, ma'am?
No, I don't want to talk to you. No, I just think you guys are a piece of shit.
Oh, why is that, ma'am?
Because you're fucking rebel media. You guys, though, you're a disgrace. You are everything that people hate about America. About America.
About America.
The hypocrisy of what you're doing right now is.
Well, what do you think about Justin Trudeau dressing up in brownface and blackface?
It was 20 years ago. Okay. Obviously, was it probably the right thing? No, I don't.
All right, then. So, as long as it was a while back, it doesn't matter, or doesn't this speak of a lack of judgment by Justin Trudeau?
Of course it was. I don't care. I just said I don't want to be interviewed.
Okay, then. All right. Well, you approached us, ma'am. I thought you wanted to.
I just came to tell you what a piece of shit you guys are, and how ashamed you should be for working for them. The quicker your generation dies off, the better we will all be.
You want me to die off? What generation are you part of?
Generation.
Oh, hello, sir. How you doing? David Menzies, Rebel News. How you doing there? We're just wondering if Sonia Sidhu is in. We're doing streeters here in Brampton, asking people to weigh in on the Justin Trudeau brownface, blackface scandal.
Sorry, I didn't understand your question. I haven't introduced myself yet. So.
Okay, then. I take it you're a worker on the campaign? Okay, then. Well, sir, what do you make of Justin Trudeau, Donny?
First of all, whose truck is this?
That is a truck that we've rented. Do the images offend you?
No, it's not about images. This truck is an advertisement truck on private property. It's not a regular visitor that is coming to the...
So you would like us to leave then, or? Hi, sir. What do you think about the Justin Trudeau brownface, blackface? Ooh, they locked the door. Oh, hey guys, did you want to come on camera? Some of the Liberal campaign workers came charging out, I think to take pictures of our beautiful truck. And now when I direct the camera and the mic towards them, they are retreating to the big red bunker. Yeah, We're just wondering how people feel about our Prime Minister, a man who says he's all about diversity and inclusion, and yet he has this checkered history of donning brownface and blackface. You know, as a person of color yourself, ma'am, how does that make you feel?
For me, I personally don't mind. I haven't met Justin Trudeau myself, but I mean, if some people, like I said, the public might feel different about what he has to say about brown, black.
Well, we know the true colors now. We know what's going on. We know what it's all about.
And he's put on blackface. He's got a T-shirt with bananas on it. And he's got this, and to say it delicately, in his pants, it looks like he's put something in his pants. And what I'm saying is, when somebody does that, he knows that that's a racist caricature.
I think it's something he did a long time ago, and maybe, you know, he was young. He's a human after all, and we as humans, we make mistakes, and he's apologized for it, and I think that's good enough.
No, I think he's an asshole myself. I don't think he has any respect for the Canadian people. He thinks we're nothing but just a paybook.
Somebody who comes from his background, who's supposedly such an internationalist, through his father and all the traveling did, he found this acceptable, and to me, he's just a racist.
Obviously, it doesn't make me feel good, but you know, I have no idea as to what the second side of the story is, but you know, it's not a good look for Justin Trudeau.
He was a drama teacher, wasn't he? So he probably dressed up a whole bunch of times and can't remember, you know.
Would you remember if you were at some function and you were wearing blackface?
I probably would, yeah. Yeah, I would.
I'm a Christian. I really think to pray for him, just not to hate him, to really love him. He's very lost. He's off on some kind of stuff, but we got to love each other in this country.
This is a prime minister, he says his brand is all about inclusion, diversity, and yet here we have him in multiple photos where he's mocking diverse people of color. How does that make you feel?
Oh, very uncomfortable. Yeah, very, very uncomfortable, you know, because it's Canada is a multicultural country, right? Yes. And he should not have done that. You cannot say something and do something else, you know?
What was he thinking?
Honestly, I don't know. So we just have to pray that God put a godly person to rule this country in Parliament, you know, to do the right thing, the honorable thing. That's what we're hoping for.
This guy is not a national leader. He's making the whole country look foolish, you know?
If I was going to run for Prime Minister knowing I had done something like that in my younger days, I wouldn't be speaking what he's speaking.
It's not a good look for Canada as a whole because, you know, he's the face, right? So hopefully we could get someone in there that's going to promote us better.
Do you think this is going to cost him votes, maybe even cost him the election, or is this just a blip and it'll be forgotten in a few weeks?
Yeah, I think it'll cost him votes. Yeah, it will.
And if you talk about the media, I think the media is really lazy because this stuff was out there when he was first going for the leadership or something like that of the Liberal Party. If we had a decent media, they would have dug up all this stuff. They would have looked into his background. They would have found this stuff.
Do you think that because of these revelations that he should resign?
Of course he should. He should, yeah, 100%. Yeah. We need somebody, I don't know, somebody responsible, somebody that says what they are going to do and not do the opposite, right?
Oh, absolutely. Of course he should resign. They should be demanding his resignation. Even the Liberals, if they had any decency, they would demand his resignation.
But they're not, clearly.
No, because they're only interested in power and keeping their phony baloney jobs, you know, and their pension, you know, that's all they're interested in.
Get rid of him.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah,
should he resign over this, sir?
He should have resigned a long time ago. He shouldn't have taken over from his father because he said he'd do better. He's done worse. Like really, so far worse.
He should resign, period, because he's not doing what he said he was supposed to do. He's supposed to make Canada proud, but as far as I'm concerned, the Canadian people is not proud anymore. They're losing trust in their government. And I think that the people should step up and say enough is enough. It's time for you to get out and put someone in there that we think will improve Canada.
in a perfect world, if it was any other party leader, he'd be all over it. And if it was one of his members of Parliament, he'd have them out of the caucus pretty quick. So what makes him so special? Is it just the name and the history?
Do you think he should resign over this, sir?
It's definitely a negative look for him and his future.
Well, there you have it, folks. After spending several hours here in Brampton, comments were all over the map. People were saying, hey, forgive and forget. Others were saying he must resign right now. Certainly, even the forgiveful ones didn't think what he did was cool, and it wasn't cool by any means. And that brings me to the final point, folks. If you can, please go to TrudeauMustResign.com and sign our petition if you feel that way. And also, if you can kick in a couple of bucks to help us pay our expenses of doing this kind of journalism, the kind of journalism that nobody else is doing, we would greatly appreciate that. For the Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, if you like the kind of journalism Rebel News delivers, please chip in and make a donation at TrudeauMustResign.com. All we're trying to do is cover our costs, and besides, nobody else is doing this, so please visit TrudeauMustResign.com.